Zed-Voices of the Youths podcast, a podcast that amplifies.
The thing is that, like, okay, we are hypothetically speaking this one.
Spend up one when you're trying to
You know,
to know
the
someone.
problem is that we love. Do you got to change?
Yeah.
Parauka tatu ukalishe mu youth, ukalishe mu youth. Parauka sister ukalishe mu youth, ukalishe mu youth. Panoni paseti tifuna voice ya mu youth. Ungangale ndiwekemba panoni paseti tifuna voice ya mu youth. Olowenza vibala panoni paseti tifuna voice ya mu youth. Nabose ba business panoni paseti tifuna voice ya mu youth. Naima mu ma offices pushing my dreams, my dreams. Pushing.
What's up, what's good and what's bad, ladies and gents? Welcome back to Zed-Voices of the Youths, a podcast that amplifies. With me, Tisro Isivika Kutara Project, and we are here once more with another beautiful episode, one that you don't have to miss out on, guys, because this one has been almost on each and everyone's mind. Because him apezeka shati tamtia maganza hapo, but in the actual sense food kuna ganza hapo, because uganza tu zaganza pishani kwa ganza hapo, things like that.
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm joined by a very powerful man in the building today by the name of Asha Raymond.
How is
But
it?
first of all, I still want to introduce one. Panga mistake here and there.
Okay.
So maybe you can just give us more of what Asha is about. Who is Asha? You know.
Alright, so I think there is little to know about me. Yeah, so my name's Asha Raymond, and I'm a gospel advocate. I'm a man of God, so to say. Yeah, and I've been in ministry for some time.
Yeah,
I've been in ministry for some time. And one of the things that I do, I'm a business person. I'm business oriented, business minded. Yeah, and I've got a skill of barbing. I do barbing.
Oh.
Yeah. I do that. Yeah, so even to teach, I can teach actually.
I've actually been wanting to know some other skills. And I've been thinking about barbing.
Okay.
So I'm sure I'm going to sense if we are to discuss further.
No problem.
A good skill.
Yeah, true.
Drama, and maybe you can even be cutting yourself. That is
Big
possible.
time. It's possible, yeah.
I've
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've done that before, yeah.
Maybe
It's just to learn the skill. That's what is important.
Yeah, to cut the cost. Imagine Moziba Kugera, maybe you and your brother. So
Yeah.
get up.
True.
But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. Just anything else?
So that's actually it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I strongly believe I'll be coming here more often.
Okay.
If you invite me, yeah, I'll be coming here more often.
Yeah,
If the door gets to be open, and there is just something that I'm trying to work on, of which in a few months I believe this thing has to start working.
Yeah.
Of which if I come back here again, I'll tell you about it. And I'll tell it to our audience. So what it is that it's a movement that God gave me. That was back in 2021. God gave me this movement, of which it is called the God Nation. The God Nation, and it focuses on kingdom, on building kingdom, nation building, raising up men to become what God has called them to become. Not just men, even women. Those people that knows that God has gifted them, God has called them, but yet they don't know how to navigate what God has called them to do. And that's what the God Nation is about. The God Nation is not only about being spiritual, but it's also about knowing on how to maneuver the corporate space, on how to operate in the corporate space, on how to take over even as a Christian out there. So the God Nation, it is something that has really been upon my heart, of which it is something that I know that as we will kickstart on it, a lot of lives will be blessed.
Sounds very interesting and very powerful. There we have it, guys. Make sure that we look out for this one. So next time you come through, we'll remind you.
Sure.
And we hope for the best, actually, for that
Definitely.
movement. Otherwise, ladies and gents, if this is the first time that you're coming through to Zed-Voices, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out on all the videos that do come through. Otherwise, there's great things coming your way. So make sure we are together, guys. Swali pilisa ucha subscribe. Ngutininga chat pam for free che. If ukapeza chat bakucha deduct maafu, reach out. We will refund you your monies. Raymond, sure. Before we begin, just a quick one. So I'd like to ask these questions before we get into the actual topic that we're talking about.
Okay.
So I'll ask you, would you rather live in the past or live in the future?
The future.
Okay, that's good. Why?
Future. Yeah, because the past is an experience that gets to teach us on how we need to handle life in the future. Mm-hmm. And I personally, there are things that I've actually encountered in my past that have made me to be a better person and they've given me a different perspective on life, on how to carry myself, on how to relate with people, on how to treasure relationships. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the past is something that is good, but I wouldn't want to live in it. That's the reason why we are always looking forward to the future. But one thing again that we have to know is that the future begins now. Mm. We create the future now. What you want to become in the future, it starts now. It starts now. So if you are just looking forward to the future yet without doing anything now, then there is nothing that you are doing. You are just sabotaging yourself of what you are supposed to become in the future.
So that's why you would like to live in the future.
So literally what I'm saying is that I'm creating my future now. Mm-hmm. Yes, what I want to become tomorrow, what I want to do tomorrow, I'm creating it now.
Creating it now. Yeah, I get it. Makes sense. Anyways, I wanted to, because I like the fact that you've even talked about what you want to be in future, yeah?
Yeah.
Manje, so maybe living in the past is somehow what's supposed to be. Because my past, the monga I create the future. I don't know if that's making sense.
The thing is that, like, okay, we are hypothetically speaking this what we are saying, like living in the past, of which a lot of us, when we look at our past, there are a lot of mistakes we have made. Mm-hmm. Of which we want, if we were to go back to the past, we'd go back and change those things. But they were there they were necessary. It was necessary for us to yes.
That's making sense, because someone was actually telling me this. That's recent.
Okay.
But anyway, that was just a quick one. Yeah, and question warm up.
Yeah, I know.
That's right? What we are here for. Otherwise, guys, we're talking about dating, and this time from a faith point of view. You know, we're talking about dating with faith. Not as in dating with faith, as in Muntu. With faith, the jam kati. Relax, guys, relax. Let's not think too much. But so Raymond, to begin, I would like to find out, when we're talking about dating, like, is it the same as the general dating that we know when it comes to a person with faith or a community with faith? For example, you want to work church. Is it the same as how we know it as dating? Or how would you best define it in how it's supposed to be defined?
Yeah, so according to me, I've faced some things that have actually changed my perspective and on how I now see dating now. Okay. Because literally, let's not put it as a doctrine, but these are principles. These are principles. When we look at dating, it's either from the faith perspective or out there, how they say it. But literally, how I've learned to say it is that dating is literally getting to know each other with the person. Getting to know if this is the kind of a person that you'd want to end up with. It is not something, how people they do it this time around is that they put so much pressure on themselves when it gets to the area of dating, to the issue of dating. They put so much pressure on themselves. They date to say, okay, this person, if I begin to date this person, I have to marry this person because I'm dating. No, of which that's not the way it's supposed to be. Sure. Dating, it's actually a process where you get to know each other and you get to know if this is the kind of a person that you'd want to end up with.
So now that's very good. The fact that we know that dating is actually getting to know someone. But like I mentioned, the people of faith, how do you, maybe let's say, how do we select the people that we want to get to know? Do you just go to anyone, or maybe let me just put it this way. Ngatuma ndama ningi ku church. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Ngatuma ndama ningi ku church. Like, are there any rules or restrictions when it comes to dating? You know, how do you get to select someone that you want to get to know? You know, nikwenda che kuli lyonse lumfunika che mpeze kachena ba ku church. Nkusomola na che mu church.
So dating, like we have said it is getting to know each other. So, you know, like people that goes to church, we have got that tendency to say, okay, the only person that I can go out with, like the only person that I can date, they are those that we are like-minded. They are those that we are of the same faith, of which I know that's the way it's supposed to be. According to how I say it, the person that you can do life with is that person that you actually, or you are of the same mind, you are of the same perspective, and the way we get to notice, okay, this person of the same mind, we are actually looking forward to the same thing. It is when you get to, you know, talking, like building friendship. It's not a problem.
Yeah. So now talking, when like how you've just put it, yeah, like someone of the same mind. So since in the work church, msakira na wina ngwana work church.
Yeah, you need to have something to talk about.
So ngat someone in church, yeah.
It's not
so
that
maybe I can't go out with the church girl, maybe.
So like you can go out. Do you go to church?
Yeah.
That's the question. Do you go to church?
That's a good one. Guys, do I? Do I go to church?
Do you go to church?
Oh. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Man. Next.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, you go to church, right? Time, but not always. Of which there is no problem with that.
Yeah.
There is no problem with that, but it depends with the kind of a person that you'd love to spend your life with. What kind of a person would you love to spend your life with?
Yeah, that's very true. Because I think I was asking because, you know, many a times we get to mangara cheka jashati. Okay, kumangara jama perspective. Yeah. So one is, if you go out maybe with someone from the church, obviously maybe your relationship will last longer. You know, things like that, because maybe they can't cheat. Then also from the other side, now maybe someone that goes to church, dating someone that doesn't go to church is maybe considered time not wino because azambo show some njira maybe of your faith, you know, azambo put some bad manners, you know, things like that.
Okay, what I've actually learned over the past days and the past weeks, like this is a mistake that I personally was making. You know, when you are getting to know someone, like when you get to a point of dating someone, I think a lot of us, we get to put a lot of pressure. We want to take it as something like, you know, putting a lot of pressure, getting to speak about deep things, this and that, of which dating, get to know the person, not the person neutral.
That's
mutual understanding, just know the person. You know, it is not that when you begin to date someone, you need to be speaking about what you've gone through, what this and that. You know, you are just getting to know each other. You know, when you get to a point of speaking about your life, entrusting that person with what you have gone through, the experiences, you get to be invested in that person. And when it doesn't work out down the line, it will break you because you invested yourself into that person without yet getting to know who that person was really in the first place.
Cool stuff. That actually makes sense. So I think with that being said, you know, I think I could slide this in, yeah, because how does then openness and honesty, you know, play when it comes to dating, you know, between people from different backgrounds? When I say backgrounds, I mean of faith and of not from faith. Openness and what's this honesty?
So I think dating, the way I'm now seeing dating this time around, is that dating must be fun.
Yeah,
it must be fun.
It
doesn't have to be like a burden.
You're fighting something.
Like you are fighting, you know, like you are forcing each other to be in each other's lives. It
shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that. It has to be fun. Get to know the person.
Yeah. You need to be that open.
Yeah, just be open. Be an open book. If you know to say this guy would want to work out my life with him.
Yeah.
Just be open to that person.
Be open to that person to say, this is me. This is what I believe in.
You know, this is what I do. This,
Yeah.
I love this. I love, you know, if you want to go out to eat something, don't put pressure. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to say, okay, I need to impress this person. No, just go out, take some drinks.
That's a good one, actually. When it comes to my first dates, actually, like how are you supposed to spend a bunch when you're trying to get to know
the
someone?
problem is that we love, like I said it, we love putting pressure on ourselves so much.
Right?
Yeah, we burden ourselves so much. We want to impress the person that we are taking out for the date.
True.
Which is not supposed to be like that. You know, if I know to say that the only money that I can spend on a date it is 300, why should I take someone to a place that you will require me to spend 500? There is no need.
There's no need. You know how this one, because at the end of the day, there's this notion that you need to be seen. Like ufunika chewa chitako vintu vikuru so that waziva that you are a man. I don't know how, like, material things these days. Because at the end of the day, because I think this is somehow connected to being open.
Yeah.
So just being honest. Because at the end of the day, just like the example that you've given to say, if you know what you can manage, for example, 200, why go to a place that can cost you 500? You know, you're not being honest.
You're not being honest in the first place, yeah.
But like, anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to also pitch in, when it comes to honesty and being open.
True.
You know, so maybe maybe is it also something that happens that Africa wampeleka kuli kunani yo dura, or maybe ngumpeleka church maybe nishi, or wampeleka ku sermon, or ku event. You know,
dating, it doesn't matter whether it is in church or out there.
Yeah,
dating, it is something that is, it's not a doctrine.
Yeah.
And it must not be a doctrine.
Sure.
We are just getting to know each other. We don't have to be pressured. Like, hey, if I'm willing to spend a 200 on you, then hey, that's what I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
And I'll actually spend according to my means.
Sure.
I don't have to impress you. I don't have to be a people's pleaser.
Why umpeleke kudate ndokula shawama.
Ndokula vintu vodula. Asa ndrama nozi bana.
Atubali kumpeleka kuya shawama nishi maybe at you are not a man maybe enough.
Ndive ni
funika wampeleka ku debo atikuba mtamu guys.
Debonaires.
Atikubodenaires. I think I can be with this person. You might say, but then anyway, I think this is a very big issue when it comes to relationships these days.
Yeah,
you don't, because at the end of the day, I think we've taken it too light. Say it's, I don't know, because there's also an aspect of maybe somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can fuse that in, because basically you're trying to impress when you know that you can't manage.
You can't manage.
Because you're trying to make this person stay, even if you know
you don't have the means to keep that person to stay with you.
So, but like, why because you want them to accept you so much. You might say, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but
you know, with me, if I know that, if I know that what I'll be able to spend on someone, it is a 200 kwacha, or maybe a 300 kwacha. I'd rather tell that person to meet me at the place where even that person will even know to say, okay, the reason why this guy has decided to meet me at this place, like he has told me to come and meet him at this place, it's because I think that's what he's able to afford. No, you know, one thing that I can tell you about these girls is that they have actually women, logically speaking, generally speaking, women mature very fast than us men.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah, women mature very fast than us men. So, you know, when you take a woman at a place where I know that, okay, this place, it will only allow me to spend a 200 kwacha. A woman, when she looks at it, she will be like, okay, since he has brought me at this place, and and from that point, you know to say, okay, this is the person that I can be with. She agrees to come with you on that place. you do what you want to do. If it is to eat shawarmas, you eat shawarmas for 45 kwacha, you buy drinks, and it ends there.
Zadi mwakwana.
Zadi mwakwa.
Transport
mwameno. Mumting napuna kapina nikayango ka 50. Kapina ni mabasi mwakwerapo, you know? And she's just okay with that, you know, okay. She understands me. So you are getting to know each other. Then even you, when you begin to upgrade, you know, to say, okay, this person, she's someone that I can build. She understands.
Exactly. Now I would like to switch up things a bit. Huh?
Okay.
Conversations relevant na mpamvu we cement no angoze baimvera bafana bakulu na angoze